Hey folks, welcome to the show for a late night, kind of late video preview for the Hurricanes and Rangers series that begins today at 2 p.m. my time, so Mountain Standard Time, and wherever you're at, you can do your conversions. Both these teams were absolutely amazing coming into the playoffs. The stats I have for you are from their round one stats, so obviously they're going to be a bit skewed because the Rangers and Hurricanes were playing a different team. That said, the stats are helpful to kind of tell you how these teams are doing and how they're playing as they come into round two to face off against each other, in which I think should be a really good round. They both play pretty differently. Carolina really likes the analytics. They're very good at controlling high danger chances in their favor and very good at controlling shots in their favor. Rangers are better at it than they have in the past. Not as good as the Hurricanes, of course, but they don't need to be as good as the Hurricanes to convert at a similar rate and prevent conversion from their opponents at a similar rate as well, thanks to strong goaltending, brutal defense, as in heavy hitting defense, and awesome playmaking at the front. That's not to say Carolina doesn't have their own strength there either. That's Halo music going on in the background, by the way. As usual, the Rangers are coming off of a sweep of the Capitals. I almost said Islanders, which is who the Hurricanes almost swept. They needed one more game to beat out the Hurricanes, but they both scored at a similar rate. Hurricanes slightly more in the goals for department. I'll move my cursor so you can see where I'm at. Though it did take them a lot more shots. They had a lot of shots per game and a lot of high danger shots for compared to the Rangers. The Rangers, however, were able to keep the Capitals quite controlled. So you can say, well, they were playing the Hurricanes. Of course, their goals against are going to be a bit lower. Their shots against are going to be a bit lower. Yeah, but it's still quite impressive that the Rangers were able to really quite diminish what the Capitals could do. The Capitals did have quite a few high danger shots against the Rangers, though couldn't convert on many. But the Hurricanes weren't exactly playing an offensive juggernaut either. They were playing the New York Islanders, who do favor defense and hitting and goaltending before scoring. It's a Lou Lamoriello team. As a result, the Hurricanes were able to keep the Islanders quite controlled, but did give up quite a few more shots than the Rangers did. That said, not huge differences in that regards. The way that they've created these numbers is different. The Rangers are a heavy hitting team. They hit the Capitals 1.55 times per shot against, whereas the Hurricanes didn't hit the Islanders a lot. They only hit the Islanders 0.9 times per shot against. They are not a punishing team by any means. And they don't block a lot either. They only block 14 shots per game compared to the Rangers' 21. But again, just like the Rangers don't need a lot of shots to score, the Hurricanes don't need to do a lot of blocking or hitting to prevent shots. And when it comes to the face-off circle, the Rangers were really good, winning well over 50%, whereas the Hurricanes were just over. When it comes to the power play, the Rangers were amazing on the power play against the Caps. They had 1.5 power play goals per game and had 3.25 power play opportunities per game. Both numbers are not hugely in favor of the Rangers, but in favor of the Rangers. However, the Hurricanes were much more disciplined. They took a lot less penalties than the Rangers during their series, but the Rangers, with the more penalty killing opportunities, had a lot more to kill and were better at it. They killed 88.2% of the power plays that the Caps had, compared to, turning down my music, compared to the Hurricanes, 72.7% of the power play opportunities that the Islanders had. So, again, after round one, these stats are going to be a bit skewed. They look like to favor the Rangers. There's a lot more blue than red here. That is true. But it is going to be a close series. Looking at how they played throughout the regular season, the Rangers were the better team. Thus, the President's Trophy win that they had, but the Hurricanes were not far behind. never far behind of the Rangers throughout the regular season at points. Played better than the Rangers. I meant to bring up their head-to-head record, but I don't think it's really going to matter too much here. The next one I'm going to talk about is the Canucks and Oilers one. That one is worth talking about, but I don't think will matter too much either. Anyways, so coming into round 2, what do I think will happen? Well, I don't think it's going to take 4 or 5 games. I'd be shocked if this series ends in 5 or 4 games. I think it'll be 6 or 7. In fact, if I were to bet, I would say it takes 6. The reason I say this is because both these teams play differently. So the focus for these teams is going to be able to try to enforce your style, and both these teams are very good at enforcing their style. So it'll probably take a few games for one team to really take over. And then B is it once a team is, for example, let's say the Hurricane style takes over, which it usually does, can the Rangers still win in that style? And I think Rangers are one of the few teams that can win while not playing their own style, and I'll get to that. But so as I think that's why I'll take 6 games, because once a team's style takes over, I think they're going to win. They won't need the full 7, but they'll need 6, which is pretty close. I wouldn't be mad at anybody taking the Rangers, and I wouldn't be mad at anybody taking the Hurricanes. I assume that they both have great respect for each other, because again, these two teams are both incredibly talented and efficient teams, really, that are both coming in, and with both have Stanley Cups on their minds. Coming into the videos, my opinion was Hurricanes, and that is what it says on my bracket as well. But as I was recording the video and putting together the video and all the numbers, I kind of wanted to go with the Rangers, just because I was thinking about it. Because I was thinking about how, okay, if the Hurricanes are forced to play the Rangers brand of hockey, I don't think the Hurricanes can win. If the Rangers are forced to play the Hurricanes brand of hockey, I would still think the Hurricanes will win. But because of all the star power the Rangers have, they still might be able to win. That's what star power does in hockey, is it allows you to win games even if your brand of hockey isn't being played, even if the game isn't going your way. If you have enough star power, you can take it over. And I do think the Rangers have more star power than the Hurricanes. That said, the Hurricanes trade deadline acquisition of Jake Guentzel and the resurgence of Evgeny Kuznetsov, another deadline acquisition, does give Hurricanes something they haven't had in a few years, and that's these high-end scorers. Now, I do think Sebastian Aho and Andrei Svechnikov are both capable high-end scorers. They just haven't had the chance to be in the current system under Rod Brind'Amour. But both I think both teams are very focused on winning a cup. For the Hurricanes, I think they're a bit more desperate. This feels like their year a bit more than the Rangers does. The Rangers kind of is like, well, we'll have another year or two. I mean, obviously they're not going into it like this, but they don't have the same pressure the Hurricanes do, where the Hurricanes feel like, this roster could get a shake-up if we don't do it right now. Guentzel might return, we don't know. Who knows about Kuznetsov? And some of their defensemen are going to be on the market and all that kind of stuff. So losing for the Hurricanes means more than losing does to the Rangers, but obviously winning the series is equivalent. Obviously, both teams are here for the cup. Nobody's here as lax or anything. If Rangers were lax, they would have got upset by the Caps, and if the Hurricanes were lax, they would have got upset by the Islanders. And I'm assuming neither team's going to take the other one unseriously, because of how good they've been. So with all that talking, I admit a lot of that ramble was just to try to help my mind race to see who I'd pick, and still kind of in a deadlock, so I'm just going to go with my original bracket pick, which was Hurricanes beating the Rangers. Since I did have both the Hurricanes and Rangers making out of round 1, I had them meeting round 2, and I picked the Rangers at the time, so I might as well go with what I originally thought, and that is the Hurricanes. And I'm going to say it's going to take... I kept talking about how it was going to take 6 games, but I'm wondering if I should go 7. Yeah, I'll go 7. I think Panarin and Shesterkin among others, not to diminish the roles of Fox, Trouba, and Kreider and Trocheck and Zibanejad and others. There's so many guys to mention, but I think it'll go to 7 because if the Hurricanes do start controlling the Rangers, which I think would happen, the Rangers are still going to make it tough. One area I'd be very interested to see take over is to see if Rangers' ability to bully their opponents will take over and beat out the Hurricanes. I wonder, because the Hurricanes don't have this elite power play. They have a pretty good power play, but they don't have like this elite power play that could really take advantage of the Rangers' tendency to be in the penalty box. So I wonder if all the hitting from Trocheck, Rempe, Trouba, and so on could upset the Hurricanes to an extent to not just get penalties, but to have their systems be disturbed. Well, let's put it that way, right? That's what physicality is for. Is it's not much of a defensive play anymore with the two-line pass no longer mandatory from the dead puck era, and because a lot of these guys are faster and tougher, they're trained to take hits. Hitting isn't really a defensive measure anymore, but it is still useful, very useful. For one, getting your opponent to try to make a dumb penalty, and two, it's a way of enforcing your style of play, or at least disrupting the opponent's style of play if you can't enforce your own. So I would like to see that take over, just because you want the league where hitting wins out, but just for entertainment value. But at the same time, there's lots of guys on the Hurricanes I like, and lots on the Rangers. So I'm quite neutral between the two, but I'm going to pick the Hurricanes in 7. And I'd like to know your thoughts down below in the comments section. You obviously can talk about whatever you'd like down there, and if it's hockey related, I'd be happy to talk about it with you down there. Also, please consider leaving a like on the video if you think I've earned it. And to hear more of my awesome analysis or just effective white noise, you can subscribe and turn on notifications for more. I have a bunch more videos to pump out that I'll do. Well, I guess it's not tomorrow anymore for me, at least. It's now today, and by the time you're seeing this, I don't know when it is. But whenever those videos come out, I hope I'll see you there. Bye-bye for now.